मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां मुनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. So welcome to today's Bhakti Vaibhava podcast. So today we are going to discuss 12th chapter and also 13th chapter because they are very simple and storyline. Just we have to grasp, that's all. So less purpose and also no commentary. There is no commentary of Srila Goswami and also Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. No commentary means almost negligible. So keeping these things in your mind, so we are planning for these 2 chapters today's class. Okay, be in the sync with the teacher and try to follow. We'll finish these 2 chapters. Okay. Sri Rushirvacha Evam Jignasu Nrupadevam Dehamatmajau Mrityum Varam Vijayan Manyamanaha Shulam Pragruhyamapyapatat Surendram Yatha Mahapurusham Kaitabopsu. Radha Govardhan Prabhu, translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanuram.
Pranam Prabhu.
Sukadeva Goswami said, desiring to give up his body, Dhritarashtra considered death in the battle preferable to victory. O King Parikshit, he vigorously took up his trident and with great force attacked Lord Indra, the king of heaven, just as Kaitav had forcefully attacked the Supreme Personality of Godhead when the universe was inundated.
Okay, so in yesterday's class we learned that Dhritarashtra was encouraging Indra to kill him quickly. So Dhritarashtra also is expressing his heroic words. He expressed his heroic words towards the Indra, and also he expressed his request towards the Lord. He has to be killed quickly. So with this kind of desire he expressed, and also he expressed his prayers to the Lord. So after that, what happened next? So that the story is going on here. So evam jihasur nrupa dehamajau mrityum varam vijayan manyamanaha shulam pragruhya abhyapatat surendram yatha mahapurusham kaitavos. So okay, so Vritrasura only started. Vritrasura so released his trident with a great force and he attacked on Indra. It was compared with like just as Kaitapa had forcefully attacked the Supreme Personality of Godhead when universe was inundated. So its example is given. Okay, although Vritrasura repeatedly encouraged Indra to kill him with the thunderbolt, King Indra was morose at having to kill such a great devotee and was hesitant to throw it. Vritrasura disappointed that Indra was reluctant despite his encouragement, took the initiative very forcefully by throwing his trident at Indra. Initially, Vritrasura released his club. So once the club is released, so his elephant, Indra's elephant, is pushed back for 50 feet away, and also so much blood and this is falling on the ground. Indra fell down on the ground and so much, so he felt hesitant to fight back. So anyway, by his hand, by touching that elephant regained his energy, and also he also stood up silently. And Vritrasura encouraged him. Even after encouraging, Indra was not daring to kill him and to attack him. So what then? Vritrasura only attacked once again with his trident. So then what happened next? Tato yugantagnikatora jihva mavidya shulam tarasa surendra क्षिप्त्वा महेन्द्राय विनद्य वीरो हतोऽसि पापेति रुषा जगादा. Then Uttarasura, the great hero of the demons, whirled his trident, which had points like the flame of the blazing fire at the end of the millennium. With great force and anger, he threw it at Indra, roaring and exclaiming loudly, "O sinful one, thus shall I kill you, Papa." So you see in this, so Mahendra Vinadya Viro Hatosi Papa iti Rusha Jagada. O sinful one, like this he was addressing Indra. Again in this chapter summary, if you see Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's, so here Yat Sauryena Gatotsaha Shakto Abhut Yena Bodhitaha Tam Samstuya Mahayuddhe Ahan iti Dwadashe Kata. So Gata Utsaha, Yat Sauryena Gata Utsaha. That means by the power of the Vritrasur, Indra's enthusiasm is lost because his elephant was pushed back like anything. So then after that, once again Vritrasura encouraging him. So then by that encouraging words, he will be regaining once again so his enthusiasm. And also Indra also appreciated Uttarasura again by hearing that encouraging words. So he very much, that means happy, and also glorified Vritrasura back, and finally he killed Vritrasura. This story you will be hearing in this chapter. Okay, that is the point. So next, so now Vritrasura released his trident. Then what happened? Ka apatat tad vilachat graholkava niriksha graholkavan niriksha dushprekshamajata uklavaha vajrena vajrisata parvanachinad bhujam chatasyoraga rajabhogam. So purports also very less, and also commentary is not there. Flying in the sky, Vritrasura's trident resembled a brilliant meteor. Although the blazing fire weapon was difficult to look upon, King Indra, unafraid, cut it to pieces with his thunderbolt. Simultaneously, he cut off one of Dhritarashtra's arms, which was as thick as the body of Vasuki, the king of the serpents. So now he released. So to counteract this trident, so what he did? Initially, Indra released a club, and that club he caught it left hand and he just so released it back. That's over. Then now in the second step, what happened now? So Dhritarashtra released his trident, Trishul, and Indra used his Vajrayudha now. And Vajrayudha smashed thunderbolt. Vajrayudha means thunderbolt. It smashed that trident, and also Dhritarashtra's right hand was cut off. See, Chinnaicabahu parigena vrutraha vrutraha samrabda asadya gruhita vajram hanauta tadindra matamarebham vajram cha hastanyapatat maghonaha. So Vipin Purandar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.
Pranam.
Although one of his arms was severed from his body, Vritrasura angrily approached King Indra and struck him on the jaw with an iron mace. He also struck the elephant that carried Indra. Thus Indra dropped the thunderbolt from his hand.
Yeah. So Vritrasura, one hand is severed, but angrily approached King Indra and struck him on the jaw with the iron mace. He also struck the elephant that carried Indra. Thus Indra dropped the thunderbolt from his hand. Now from the Indra's hand, thunderbolt is dropped down. Now Indra is is completely weaponless. Vritrasura with only one hand is having. With the left hand, he released his iron mace. But still, so that just stuck to the Vajrayudha, and Vajrayudha fell down from the hands of the Indra. It's very easy for Uttarasura to kill now Indra, but he didn't kill actually. So you see what Uttarasura is saying to him. That's the greatness of the Uttarasura. Next you see, Utrasya karmati mahadbhutam tat surasurascharana siddha sanghaha apujayans puruhuta sankatam nirikshaha heti vichakrushur bhusham. The engines of various planets like the demigods, demons, charanas and siddhas praised Vritrasura's deed. But when they observed that Indra was in great danger, they lamented, alas, alas. Like in the, so Hiranyaksha and the Varaha Bhagavan, when there was the fighting. So for just time being, what happened when Hiranyaksha attacked? So the club from the hands of the Varaha was dropped down. At the time also, all the devatas are thinking that, oh, my God, Varaha is going to lose the game. What will happen? And then all these people are going and hiding behind the clouds, because now definitely Varaha will be killed now. And what that means, they don't have any faith on the Lord and Lord's instruction. This is the state of the demigods. Already see, Vritrasura is having full confidence that Indra will win, but Indra is not having any confidence, because Vritrasura is a devotee and he is clearly knowing that, so this is a Lord's order and so I will be killed. That from the day one, from the starting point, he is saying. But Indra and also other demigods, all they heard from the Lord that you prepare the Vajrayudha and you attack, Vritrasura will be killed. Like that, Lord told, but still they don't have any confidence on the faith in the words of the Lord. This is the problem actually. Difference between the faith of the Vritrasura and other demigods. Indro na vajram jagruhe vilajjitas Shchutam swahastadarasmin nidau puna tamaha vrutro hara ata vajro jahi swashatrum na vishada kalaha. So having dropped the thunderbolt from his hand in the presence of his enemy, Indra was practically defeated and was very much ashamed. Now just take another mace and club or so just throw on the face of the Indra, finished. Indra will be finished within next second actually. But it's almost all Indra defeated now actually. But actually anyone who is weaponless, enemy is weaponless, you should not attack. This is the rule actually, a rule of the battlefield. So but he is weaponless. So but still Vritrasura, that's why Vritrasura following the rules of the fighting. So he didn't attack. He dared not pick his, and he is also is not daring to pick it back because anyway, so it's very easy for Vritrasura so to kill him. So that's why Vritrasura, however, encouraged him, saying, "Take up your thunderbolt and kill your enemy. This is not the time to lament your fate." See, Jahi Swashatrum, that means Jahi means kill. Swashatrum. Hey Indra, you kill me, yaar. Kill me. Such a bold stand Vritrasura is taking. Is encouraging Indra. Tamaha Vritrohara. The main interest is what? Vritrasura wants to get out from this demonic body, subtle and gross bodies very soon, and he wants to be engaged in the service because that body is becoming obstacle for the devotion, various devotional activities. Yussatam kutra chidatatayinam jaya sadaikyatra na vaiparatmanam Vinaika putpattilaya stitishwaram sarvagnamadhyam purusham sanatanam. So some philosophy is saying now. So he's encouraging Indra to pick up the thunderbolt and attack back. For that he is giving the philosophy. So Uttarasurya continued, "O Indra, no one is guaranteed of being always victorious but original enjoyer, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. He is the cause of creation, maintenance and annihilation, and he knows everything. Being dependent and being obliged to accept material bodies, belligerent subordinates are sometimes victorious and sometimes defeated." So what he is saying actually, so Supreme Lord is the ultimately knower of so victory and so loss, defeat. So and we should fully focus, we should fully dependent on the Lord. So Lord already said to Indra, be confident and fight with the Vajrayudh. But still, but Indra is not doing that. That's why Vritrasura is encouraging him. We'll read the purport. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smritir gnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. When two parties fight, the fighting actually goes on under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma, the Super Soul. Okay, so Lord's is the cause for the Smriti and Apohanam, and also in this next Prakrute Kriyamanani. So this is also only the falsely the person is thinking that I am the doer, but originally everything is done by what? Modes. That means what? We don't have any role in the doing things. No, it's not like that. We also have the role. But what is the problem? Being a conditioned soul, we are fully influenced by the modes, and according to the influence of the modes, we are doing the activities. That's why we are saying that some modes are doing. But so Jivatma is not having any independence. Jivatma is having the independence. So but when it is in the modes, influence of the modes are influencing them. So that's why he is doing according to the modes. So that means what? Any Jivatma So any Jivatma who is, many times people get doubt on this actually. Any Jivatma who is conditioned state, Jivatma in conditioned state, what happens? So it is fully controlled by the modes, because Jivatma is covered with the avidya. And because of this avidya, Jivatma is not able to understand itself as soul and not able to act independently. And this avidya is also product of the Maya. Vidya and avidya are the products of the Maya. This avidya is also product of the Maya. So then what happens? Being influenced by the avidya is forgetting his own self, and it is fully acting based upon the his subtle body. That means the various other desires already whatever are there impressions. According to that impressions, it is making the decision of doing the activities. That means all these avidya subtle bodies all are because of the vrittis of Maya, functions of the Maya. So that's why in the conditioned state, Jivatma is fully under the control of the Maya. So that's why what is said, Prakruteihi kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. So what Krishna is saying, Prakriti, by Prakriti, all the activities are done. Prakritehe gunaihi. So Prakritehe gunaihi means by the gunas of, by the modes of Prakriti. So what? All the activities are done. Activities are done by the modes of the Prakriti. So this subtle and gross, all these bodies are out of Maya, and this Jivatma in the conditioned state, so it is getting the desires based upon the modes. Which mode is influencing now this Jivatma? Based upon that, so Jivatma is functioning. For example, so Jivatma is going to one peaceful place, like it is going to it happened to go to some peaceful place like some village. Then he will be getting all the good thoughts actually, and he will be always in the goodness. But when he is in the place of such a shopping mall and this that, then he will be getting in the mode of passion, and he will be getting the desires to get those things. When he went to a, for example, it happened to go to the Madiralaya, that means some club and pub, so called things. Then he'll be getting desire to drink. So that means he is exposed to the modes all the time, and based upon the influence of the modes, he is doing the different activities. That is the state of conditioned soul. This is the state of conditioned soul. But what? That means like this Jivatma from the beginningless, there is no beginning. So like this Jivatma is traveling millions of lives it spent, it's keep on gathering the various impressions in the subtle body again and again. So like this, it's keep on, and these are all at the time of annihilation is stored in the form of karma in the avidya. So all the subtle body also is destroyed at the final annihilation. So final annihilation means 100 years of Brahmaji is over. So once again, so it is sent back to the universe, and so glanced, and it is sent back once again based upon this karma. So it is once again getting the different bodies. So like this, millions and times it is traveling in these modes. So that's why Jivatma, conditioned Jivatma, is fully functioning based upon the modes. Then when this Jivatma, that means Jivatma doesn't have any independence. Can you say like that? Jivatma doesn't have any independence. It shows that only Prakriti is doing everything. No, actually Jivatma is also having independence. So how Jivatma can come to know its independence and it can act independently? When this avidya is removed. So for that, what is needed? What is needed? Yeah. When the association of the devotees who are independent in this universe, devotees are independent. So ajadi, Rashtravada se ajadi. People are desiring to get the freedom. So the real freedom is there in whose hands? Who are enjoying the real freedom? Devotees are enjoying the real freedom. So real freedom means what? So not being influenced by the modes. This is the real freedom. Real freedom can be enjoyed by the only the devotees. And also sadhus are two types. So these are the jnanis and bhaktas. So bhaktas association is quite different from the jnanis association. Even jnanis also they are trying to bring out us from the avidya. So avidya, influence of the avidya. But they are not fully independent. They, by their teachings and preachings and practicing various jnana sadhanas, avidya is removed, but we will be covered with the vidya, which is vidya is also product of maya. So ultimately they are liberated and they will merge into the Brahman. So after that, no independence. Jnanis association. Yeah, that's why this is not real independence actually. By association of the Jnanis, we are not enjoying the real independence. The real independence we are enjoying when we are coming in association of the devotees. So that's why real independence means getting free from the modes of the nature. So that influence of the modes of the nature, that is possible only by the association of the devotees. Otherwise, Jivatma is again and again it is doing the different actions based upon the previously done sinful reactions or otherwise the modes of the nature. Huh? Sound problem? Acha, online students, sound quality is today's sound quality is okay? Is it clear? Yeah. On-site problem? Yeah. Something voice is blurred, na? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. But online, can you open that online? Chaitan Jeevan, yes. Yeah. Yes, okay.
Yes, bro. Sound is unclear, bro. It's not. It's blurred. Actually, it's like hazy. Means like I think so. Battery is gone off your mic. I think so. I don't. Maybe.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, bro.
So audio is not clear. They are saying. Okay.
Maybe I am feeling like.
Okay. Some are feeling good. Some are not feeling because they have good devices. That's why they are feeling good. Some devices are normal and that's why they are feeling bad. Battery to charge है. फिर भी I am also feeling sound is not so clear. हाँ. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare. This is fine. This sound is good. Yeah. Huh? No. Little bit good. Compared to previous one, it is. Yes. Yeah. Chaitanya is saying yes. It's good. Okay. If you want to enjoy real freedom, what you should do? You should become devotee. Yeah. We should also sing the opposite song for that. Ajadi. You know that Ajadi song? No? Huh? No, not Independence time. Recently in the JNU it is started. Ajadi. Rashtravada se Ajad. Punjivada se Ajad. Sangvada se Ajad. Okay. So that's why here Vrtrasura is saying what? Everything is in the control of the Supreme Lord. Everything is in the control of the Supreme Lord. So that means how Lord is controlling here. We are seeing the Prakriti is controlling. But actually, Lord is controlling. If you see, so these modes are influencing, and modes are influencing means modes are not independent energy. All these modes, prakriti, that means Mayadhyakshena Suyate Prakriti Sacharacharam. Lord is saying, this Jivatma is, yes, is having a little bit independence, but this avidya and also subtle gross bodies and also the external atmosphere, everything is in the control of the Lord. So based upon the karma of this Jivatma, previously done karma, so Lord only is sanctioning the what next activity has to be done and what result has to be so given to this. So that's why ultimate control is who? Lord is the ultimate controller. When this Jivatma is fully liberated, that means it came in association of the devotees. So when this Jivatma is doing the devotion, at that time also Lord only is controlling that Jivatma. That means when Jivatma is conditioned or when Jivatma is not conditioned state, that means when Jivatma is in the state of the devotion, so in the both cases, Lord only is controlling directly. So that's why that is the point you should understand here. Oh, my dear Indra, why you are so much worried? Whatever is destined for you, that you will get. So your duty is you should fight. And why you are morose now? So once this thunderbolt fell down from his hand and he is simply seeing morosely. So that is the problem. So that is the point Vritrasura is explaining to him. Victory is always with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as for the subordinate living entities. Very long back, I explained how the karma, so that means Kriya Shakti and Gnana Shakti of the Lord are actually the cause for the actions of this body and also the life air and mind and intelligence. All these different parts of our body are functioning. So see, body is now I am so doing this activity, raising hand and that means down, putting down. So this I am doing. This is need the Kriya Shakti. This Kriya Shakti is belong to whom? This belongs to the Sarupa Shakti. This belongs to the Lord. And whatever the things I am able to know, so that Chit Shakti, that Chit Shakti is also, that means knowledge which cause for the cognition. That's the energy which is need for the cognition. That is also belong to the Lord. So Kriya Shakti and Gnana Shakti are belong to the Lord. And now, so the control is in whose hands? Now this hand has to raise and has to down. This much only should raise. Sometimes some people, they get the paralysis and only this is moving this much. So why this is happening? Who is controlling? So Lord is controlling the flow of the Kriya Shakti in this hand based upon the karma of that Jivatma. So ultimately, so the supplier is the Lord, Kriya Shakti and Gnana Shakti. So supplier is the Lord, and but how he is sanctioning to the particular Jivatma based upon his previously done karma. So he is supplying that. So that's why ultimately, so Lord is the cause of all the causes. In the case of the conditioned soul, completely Lord is controlling that Jivatma through the karma. And in the case of the devotee, when this Jivatma is in association of devotees and when it starts doing the devotion, in that time, Lord is controlling according to his own free will, not because of the karma. So that means what are the conditions we said when Lord will control? When that Jivatma is taking the shelter of the Guru. Surrendering fully and taking the shelter of the Guru, so and doing the either Kevala Bhakti or Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti. In that case, then Lord is taking the shelter, so taking care of those Jivatmas, so control. Okay. Free will of the Lord. So Sankhites, they don't accept the presence of the Lord. That's why they see that everything is done by the Prakriti. because in the conditioned state, actually everything is done by Prakriti only. So that's why Sankhets, when they remove the Ishvara, they will be accepting Jivatma as Purusha and Prakriti, and everything is done by Prakriti. Prakriti is a superior. And they will be using this example. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sharvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. So according to the Sankhets, so understanding ourselves as so Purusha, and everything is done by the Prakriti, and Prakriti is cause for the good and bad. So now just you should know the difference between the Prakriti and Purusha, and you should realize yourself as a Purusha and who is not doing anything. So not doing anything, just realizing this much difference between the Prakriti is and Purusha is the liberation according to them. That's all. That means Dukkha Nivrutti is only the Purushartha for them. Dukkha Nivrutti is only the Purushartha for them. That is the Sankhya's philosophy, Nirishwara Sankhya. There are the big followers are there in the society. We think that ISKCON are big society, but actually these followers are thousands and millions are there. And also Advaitins also millions are there. We are only thousands. And the demigod worshippers also thousands and millions. So Sankhya's are so, Advaitins are there. And some Paramanuvadis, they are also there. So modern scientists. And Karmis, modern scientists are like Karmis. They try to do so all the time the most sense gratifying methods they will invent, and they think that is the. What is the difference between Karmi and modern scientists? Karmis also, what is the goal of the Karmis? They will be reading the Vedas and finding the different means to sense gratification. They are following Vedas and finding the means. That means, let me do the Ashwamedha Yaga, let me do the Agnistoma Yaga, let me do the Putra Kameshti Yaga, let me do the this Yaga, that Yaga, and get the result and enjoy. This is the Karmis philosophy. And what is the modern scientist philosophy? Is also same. So they also want to do research on this Prakriti and find the best means to enjoy or sense gratification. And finding the best means for sense gratification and doing this enjoyment. There is no liberation, favoration for the Karmis. Similarly, so modern scientists also. There is but only the difference is what? They are depending on the Shastras, and these people are not depending on the Shastras. That is only the difference. But approach is same, goal is same. Sense gratification. So that's why okay, next sloka. Loka sapala yasyeme shvasanti vivashavashe dvijayuva shicha baddha sakala yah karanam. All living beings in all the planets of this universe, including the presiding deities of all the planets, are fully under the control of the Lord. They work like birds caught in a net. We can't move independently. Okay, it's clear. So, karmadhinanam subha drushtanukula. So, kala eva jaya parajayoho karanam ityaha. So, because we are all fully conditioned soul, conditioned souls are completely controlled by the karma. Completely controlled by the karma. And according to that karma, good karma is there, then good result. And bad karma is there, bad result will be coming. Like this, Jaya, Apajaya are completely destined for this conditioned Jivatma. The difference between suras and asuras is that suras know that nothing can happen without the desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas the asuras cannot understand the supreme will of the Lord. In this fight, Vritrasura is actually the asura, whereas Indra is asura. So conditioned soul is completely controlled by the karma. So, but in the case of devotees, they will not consider karma is controlling because they are devotees and they are dependent on the Lord. And Lord is taking the full charge. And they will be so fully dependent on the Lord. Lord will be the giver of the whatever result they get, they will always take it in favor of the progressing in the devotion. That is the state of the so devotees. And in the case of the asuras, that means they always so dependent on their own ability. They think themselves as a doer, and they will be getting the so sometimes depression, sometimes so aggression based upon the victory or the so loss. Therefore, victory and defeat come according to the results of one's karma, and the judgment is given by the Supreme Lord. Karmana Daiva Netran. Since we act under the control of the Supreme, according to our karma, no one is independent, from Brahma down to the insignificant ant. Next. Ojasaho bhalam pranam amrutam mrutyume vacha tamagnaya jano hetum atmanam manyate jadam. Vedambar Chaitanya.
Our sensory prowess, mental power, bodily strength, living force, immortality, and mortality are all subject to the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not knowing this, foolish people think the dull material body to be the cause of their activities.
Yeah. So whatever that means, Ojasaho balam pranam amrutam mrutyumeva tama tamagnaya jano hetum atman. All this body, life air, mind, intelligence, everything is functioning because of the Lord's Kriya Shakti. That Kriya Shakti is not belonging to the Jivatma. Jivatma is not possessing that. So Jivatmas, so that's whatever the consciousness is there of the Jivatma, that is also flowing entire body by the help of the Lord's so Sarupa Shakti only.
Here we are discussing Kriya Shakti and Gyan Shakti,
Yeah.
which is coming from Sarup Shakti of the Lord.
Yes.
So when Maya Shakti is there,
Yes.
so that is Maya Shakti is also getting from Sarup Shakti. We should know what is it like Maya is Prakriti and is Maya Vidya and Avidya both are acting under the Maya's control.
Because Kriya means activeness, activity. Jnana means consciousness. These two are not the basic properties of the Bhairanga Shakti.
Shakti acts because of getting from Sarup Shakti, we should understand acting of Bhairanga Shakti. He is just like when we discuss here, Prakriti is acting like that. Prakriti Kramani. But
Yeah.
behind Prakriti is that Lord is there.
Yeah. So Prakriti's gunas are doing, we say. That means gunas are by nature, they are jada.
Jada.
But they are acting, there is change in that. And also they are acting, that is because of the Kriya Shakti of the Lord.
So Kriya Shakti, that means Sarup Shakti. So,
Kriya
but,
Shakti is,
so when we say Maya,
yeah.
Maya is functioning under Maya is doing. So Maya is, we should understand Maya as a Jada only, no?
Yeah,
That
Maya is Jada.
Prakriti.
So Maya is having the two kinds of, Bhairanga Shakti is having the two main functions. One is the Prakriti, another is the Avidya. And from this Prakriti, 23 elements will come. And Avidya. And Vidya. These are all the functions of the Bhairanga Shakti. But Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti will not come under this. So these details are there in Bhagavad Sandarbha. So what are the different Shaktis of the Lord, and so components of those Shaktis, and also the proof is everything is established in Bhagavad Sandarbha. Total book is that. Next, yatha darumai nari yata patramayo mrugaha evam bhutani magavannisha tantrani viddhi. O King Indra, as wooden doll that looks like a woman, or as an animal made of grass and leaves cannot move or dance independently, but depends fully on the person who handles it, all of us dance according to the desire of the Supreme Controller, the personality of Godhead. No one is independent. Kincha tasya kalasyapi vashayita purushaha sopi yasya vashe sa swayam bhagavan eva sarva karana karana visalvigraha. So like wooden doll is played with the player, similarly, so this prakriti is dancing by the so desire of the Lord. Purushah prakritirvyaktam atmabhutendriyashayah shaknuvantyasya sargadau navina yadanugrahat. The three Purushas, Karana, Karanodakasai Vishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and Kshirodakasai Vishnu. So the material nature, the total material energy, the false ego, the five material elements, the material senses, the mind, the intelligence and consciousness cannot create the material manifestation without the directions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Purushas, here Purusha means all these three Vishnus. So they are the controlling the Prakriti. So that's why Prakriti is not independent. It is also controlled by the Lord. You all know this story, many times we discussed. Okay, this Purushas, how they are controlling Prakriti and Jiva. Prakriti Shakti, Jiva Shakti, both they are controlling at different levels. That was discussed. So, okay, next. Avidvaneva atmanam manyate nisham ishwaram bhutaihi srujati bhutani krasate tani taihi swayam. A foolish, senseless person cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although always dependent. He falsely thinks himself the Supreme. So, if one thinks according to one's previous fruitive action, one's material body is created by the father and mother, and the same body is annihilated by another agent, as another animal is devoured by a tiger. This is not proper understanding. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself creates and devours the living being through the other living beings. So, people who are ignorant, they cannot understand the role of the Supreme Lord. So, they will be fully conditioned by the modes, and according to the modes only they keep on working. When you come in association of the devotees, and when you get the understanding about the Supreme Lord, then you will understand. So actually Krishna is doing everything, and then you can easily take his shelter, and then you will be released from this Maya. So Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. When you will be completely freed from this Maya, otherwise you will be fully in the grip of the Maya only. All the conditioned souls are full in the grip of Maya, and Maya only is making to dance. But that Maya is also is danced by, that Maya is doing dance based upon the instructions of the Lord. So that's why conditioned soul is dancing based upon the Maya, and that Maya is dancing so by the directions of the Lord, Supreme Lord. This is the fundamental philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. So, but whoever is coming to know the Supreme Lord is the cause of everything, then he will be that person. Mam ye prapadyante. When you fully surrender to the Lord, and when you take that means understanding. So, Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then if you surrender to the Guru, he is the representative of the Lord. So then you will be released from this Maya and you will be fully controlled now. That is Ananya Bhakti. When you do Ananya Bhakti, so then you will be free from the Maya. Otherwise, no. So until unless if you don't surrender to the Lord, Maya will not leave. So then Maya only will be dancing us. So that's why, where is your free will? Your free will is there. So whether you want to accept and surrender to the Lord or you don't want to surrender to the Lord, that free will is with your hands actually. When you got association of the devotee, and after that, you have full freedom to accept the instructions of that sadhu, and you can surrender to the Lord. That also you can do, or otherwise you reject his words and you go back and do your journey like as you are doing. So that's your free will actually. So there you have full free will actually. Whether surrendering or not surrendering is in your hand. But the association of sadhus also is not in your hand. Somehow or other, because of their causeless mercy, you may get the association. After getting association, now you are given with the truth. So now accepting the truth or not is in your hand now. So people, that means because of less faith in the Lord, so then that's why like Indra. So then what will happen? They will be, sometimes they may accept Lord, sometimes they may not accept the Lord. So then, so because of lack of faith, not surrendering to the Lord, so they will be punished again and again by the Maya only. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. If you have only little faith, then Lord also is reciprocating like that only. Then he will not take full charge. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasante tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. When you fully surrender to the Lord, then only I will take care of you. Otherwise, I don't want to. According to your karma, and okay, as much as surrender, then that much result I will give. So,
what is it? You according to reciprocated. Eyathamam prapadante. So to the degree that because surrender is like an ongoing process, like na? So that degree is increases, that Lord's reciprocation will be there, na?
yes.
Is that, yeah, like the black and white? Is that in
Yes.
the black and white case there
Yes.
are?
It's not black and white movie. Yes. It's not black and white, but it is a gray. Gray color is there in between.
Yeah, gray color will be there.
Yes.
Ananyas person is
Yeta mom is bringing that grayness. So that's why a foolish, senseless person cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although always dependent, he falsely thinks himself as supreme. Purport: according to the conclusions of the philosophy known as karma mimamsa, one's karma, the previous fruitive activity, is the cause of everything, and therefore there is no need to work. Those who are arrived this conclusion are foolish. When a father creates a child, he doesn't do so independently. He is induced to do so by the Supreme Lord. As Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishta matta smriti gnanam apohanam cha. I am in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Unless one receives the dictations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead who sits within everyone's heart, one cannot induce to create anything. Therefore, the father and mother are not the creators. Actually, what Prabhupada wants to say here. So, Karma Mimamsa says that karma is the cause for the next activity, next result. So then you may say that, okay, anyway, karma mimamsa, according to that previous karma will be cause for the next result. So why I have to do karma, I will not do. You may think like this or not. So let the karma. So why I have to prepare for exams? So anyway, whatever has to come, that will come according to my result karma. So then why I will not do any work? You can say like this, na? So actually, Since you are destined to not to get good result, to get 0 marks, you got that thought actually. That thought is also under the modes. You're understanding the point. Ultimately, because jatu tishtat chakarma krit, that means nahi kasik shanamapi jatu tishtat chakarma krit. Even a one moment, one single moment, you cannot stop yourself by not doing anything. You are always conditioned by the previous karma, that means by the maya. So that's why you are always influenced, and you are saying that, oh, okay, my previous karma will bring the result and I will not do. That means you are already influenced by the maya and you are thinking like that. Because you can be independent when you surrender to the Lord. Otherwise, there is no chance. Whatever thoughts you are getting, that is also because of influence of ignorance, maya. You are already in the influence and you are thinking that now I am not doing, and then let the result will come. That is also maya. Only two states are possible: accepting a Lord's authority or accepting the Maya's authority. That's all. There is no other state. So that's why you are not accepting Lord's authority means you are already in the Maya. That's all. You are destined to not to get good result. That's why you are thinking like this, and you'll get the 0 result. So that's why. But Prabhupada is saying that actually Jivatma is belong to the Lord, and these mother and father are not the really so creators of the Jivatma. So that Jivatma is coming into the male body and through the semen that is injected into the womb. That's all. So based upon the karma, we are getting the respective mother and father and that environment. Which village you should take birth, which father, what kind of body you should get, that is destined according to the karma, and that's why you are entering into that male person's semen, Jivatma. So urine and Jivatma both are coming from the same source. And if this Jivatma is not at all doing for two things, either fight or otherwise do devotion, fight for religious principles, or otherwise at least fight for religious principles which is given by the Lord, or otherwise do the devotion. Devotion is the highest. If you don't do either of these two, then it is equal to the urine. That Jivatma is equal to the urine. Because urine also coming and becoming flowing into the gutter. Similarly, that Jivatma who is not doing so fight for these two things, either of these two things, then that is also equal to urine. Last purpose we read. Okay, next Ayushri Kirtairashva Aishwaryam Asisha Purushasya ya Bhavantyeva hi tatkale yatha nischor viparyaya. Just as a person not inclined to die must nonetheless give up his longevity, opulence, fame, and everything else at the time of death. So at the appointed time of victory, one can gain all these when the Supreme Lord awards them by his mercy. See, Vrittarashtra is just teaching all the Siddhanta actually, what real Siddhanta explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So the same thing is explaining here. So yeah. Just a person not inclined to die must nonetheless give up his longevity, opulence, fame, and everything else at the time of death. So at the appointed time of victory, one can gain. So just destiny, your karma will decide why you are so much morose. You do your duty. You fight. You know you are in front of me. You should fight and just fight. And whatever will happen, happen. Okay, next. Tasmadakirta yashasor jayapajayораpi samasyat sukha dukkhabhyam mrityu jivatayostata. Since everything is dependent on the supreme will of the personality of Godhead, one should be equipoised in fame and defamation, victory and defeat, life and death. In their effects represented as happiness and distress, one should maintain oneself in equilibrium without anxiety. Who can do this? Devotee can do this actually. Karmi cannot do this. So devotee is completely surrendering to the Lord, and he will be doing his service, whatever is like Arjuna. So Lord instructed him to fight. So then he will be just following the fighting, doing the fighting and following the instructions of the Lord. So whatever may happen. So it's various levels. So it is instruction of the Lord, and I am fighting and offering that result to the Lord. Then that is known as karmarpan. That is siddha bhakti. So means that is a basic principles we should know in the society. Human society means so varnashrama dharma, where everyone think that this all the activities savaipumsam parodharmo yato bhakti radokshache, all the activities are meant for the samsiddhir haritoshanam, for the pleasure of the Lord. So doing every activity for the pleasure of the Lord and offering the result to the Lord. So this is the basic functionality required for the society. So then the surrenderance changes. So then Lord's reciprocation also will change. Then by that doing, Lord will happen. Then he will not be attached with that result of the karma. When you do karmarpanam for the Lord with love, then what will happen? You will be freed from the bondage from the karma, and you will be released. And so that is the main advantage. So that further entanglement will be stopped. And by pleasing the Lord, you will be getting the taste for the hearing the Krishna Katha. So when you got the full Shraddha in the Lord, then you can live completely that karma also and fully engaged in the devotional service, direct devotional service 24 hours. This is the Ananya Bhakti then. So that's the beginning is we should not get the entanglement from the karma. So for that we need to understand that everything is for the pleasure of the Lord. So that is the basic thing. So required in the every society, human society. Okay. So next, sattvam rajastamayiti prakrutirnatmano gunaha tatra sakshinam atmanam yo vedasana padyate. One who knows that the three qualities, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are not qualities of the soul, but qualities of the material nature, and who knows that the pure soul is simply an observer of the actions and reactions of these qualities, should be understood to be the liberated person. That is going to happen. So when you understand that, yes, these modes are doing, that means vidya. This is known as vidya actually. This sloka is related to the jnanis. So understanding yourself as pure self, like so Rishabhadev is saying, Jadabharata is saying, same points those also said. Also in the Uddhava Gita, Krishna is saying, what is that? Suddhopi vichishte avishuddha kartu, what Jadabharata is saying. So Jivatma is pure. It is not having any goodness, passion inside as inherent properties. They are all outside to the Jivatma. So they are all the vrittis of the mind. So but because of the avidya, so it is entering into those vrittis. Otherwise, Jivatma is pure, and all the things are done by these subtle and gross bodies and Maya. So if one comes to know this, that is known as, and not only knowing and acting on this, not at all attached. So for this, what he has to do? So he has to do the karmarpanam. When he does the karmarpanam, then detachment will come. So fully he will become detached. Then he will understand. So when he practices the gnana sadhanas, then he will understand this point. This is the gnana point. This is Pashyamam nirjitam shatru what that? Vrukna yudha bhujam rude ghatamanam yata shakti tava prana jihirshaya. Oh my enemy, just look at me. I have already been defeated. For my weapon and arm have been cut to pieces. You have already overwhelmed me, but nonetheless, with a desire to kill you, I am trying my best to fight. I am not at all morose, even under such adverse conditions. Therefore, you should give up your moroseness and continue fighting. He is encouraging. See, Vrutranasra already right hand gone. And that blood is pouring actually from that, because such a big body, it's like a mountain. Body is like a mountain, and it is such a big body, and from that hand is cut off by the thunderbolt, and Now blood is dropping. And he is saying, my dear Indra, why you are morose? My hand is cut out, na? And I am feeling pain. You are not at all feeling pain. And just took up that thunderbolt. And I am also, see, I am a hero. That's my duty is fighting now. I am fighting with enthusiasm. I am not at all worried. Why you are worried? You should not get worried. And anyway, Lord told to you, you will be winner. And you take up that thunderbolt and attack on me. So like that, he is clearly saying that, yeah, he's encouraging wonderfully. Kisa. ఎందుకు Uttarasu was so great and powerful that in effect he was acting as the spiritual master of Indra. Although Uttarasu was on the verge of defeat, he was not at all affected. He knew that he was going to be defeated by Indra and he voluntarily accepted that. But since he was supposed to be Indra's enemy, he tried his best to kill Indra. That's all. Thus he performed his duty. He should perform his duty under all circumstances, even though one may know what the result will be. Yes. So because there's a Lord's given system, just to set example, Ananya Bhaktas also performing duty. Are Uttarasu is Ananya Bhakta, why he is performing duty? What is the need of performing duties? Sarvadharman Parityajya, duties, all you leave all duties and surrender to me. Uttarasu has to surrender, na? Is Ananya Bhakta, why he is fighting? Tell me. What is the need? Why the duty minded is that duty minded is also obstacle for the bhakti. Yes or no? Duty minded is also obstacle for the bhakti. Then it is avrutam. It is avrutam. It is covering the bhakti. So I am Brahmana, I should do this duty. I am Kshatriya, I should do this duty. If you think like this, for Ananya Bhakti, this kind of thinking is wrong or not? Bolo? Huh? Why?
Sometimes Ananda Bhakti perform his so-called duties for the inspiration of unqualified people who are not practicing, not able to practice in Ananda Bhakti, and also some samskar, also other causes. Is family tradition like Ambarish Maharaj perform.
So Ananya Bhakta, actually in the fact, if you see, Ananya Bhaktas should not think that I am Brahmana, I should do this duty. That's true. That's true actually. But to teach the society or otherwise, yeah. So otherwise, how they will think Uttarasu is not fighting and simply surrendering? That means kill me like that. Then it is not. Then it looks like that. Many problems actually by not following the system. His father also will think in another way. Then yajna, sacrifice is done, and the result of sacrifice is what? Indra Satru, producing the Indra Satru, and so that is not at all happening. And like this, many systems also will be proved as failure systems. So to keep everything intact, Ananya Bhaktas, they will follow their duties only for the sake of following, but not for the sake of So it's not covering their devotion, but just to set example in the society. Yadidacharita shrestha tatta devetaru. For common people to set the example, they will follow the respective duties, but they are always thinking the Lord in their heart. So that means all the times, tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manuswara yudhya bharata. In all the times they are so thinking about the Lord. They are continuing their ananya bhakti internally. So, but only just to set example in the society. So he will be doing. So that's why he is encouraging. It's not that the ananya bhakta always will speak only only one instruction. He should do ananya bhakti. Hey Indra, you also leave this job of fighting and you can also become ananya bhakta. Why he didn't say that? Why he didn't say? We discussed this point also. Why Dhritarashtra didn't say that? So Indra, hey Indra, you leave this everything and do ananya bhakti. Tell. Mike, you take Mike.
Vagration Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam. Prabhu, Vritasur was fighting and he was not performing Sakshat Bhakti 24 hours. So how can we say that he is Ananya Bhakta in this case? Yes, I can understand.
पूछा नहीं तो आप क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे. मैं जो प्रश्न पूछे उसको उत्तर दे दो. उसके बाद अपना प्रश्न पूछो. मेरा प्रश्न अभी क्या होना है अभी? What happened to my question then? If you ask the question instead of giving the answer, then what is the destination for my question? First, I raised my question. First, my question has to be served. Once it is answered, then you can ask another question.
Okay, Prabhu.
First, if you have any answer for my question, then you answer that. Then after that clarified, then you can ask your question.
Okay, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu.
Otherwise, my question will be into the air. People will forget in the next minute. Okay. Tell. He.
Few days ago, we heard that people are having different modes according to their modes. Actually, they can act, and so this Ananya Bhakti actually cannot be imposed to everyone because that thing different people having different modes, different this kind of mentality like this.
Why Dhritarashtra didn't directly told and stop the fighting and you do Ananya Bhakti and both will do Ananya Bhakti. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Why didn't say that? Tell me. कौन बोलेंगे? Yes.
So also there is Namaradhan comes to instruct the famous person of the glories of holy name. So so similarly, if somebody is instructing about Ananya Bhakti, person doesn't have faith, so that will be considered as a offense only. Or it is also said na buddhi bhed janayet karmi nam karmi sangi nam. That is in Bhagavad Gita that the mention is that
very good answer. Very good.
One who is attached to fruity activities, their intelligence should not disturb, but one should perform such duty in such a way that they can follow, encourage them, inspire them. Otherwise, if you directly tell to about pure devotional service, so they will not do pure devotional service, as well as they will leave the karma what they are doing. So they will degrade more, just like somebody is they will come to the vikarma. So if somebody is doing karma, if he had not, that's why yavat karma kurvita na nirvidyati yavata mat katha sranado shraddha na jayate. So that's why one should inspire for karma.
Yes. To preach Ananya Bhakti, so whenever they get the association of the sadhu, what happens in the Bhakti Sandarbha we learn. So whenever the Jivatma is coming in association of the sadhu, So if he is not having any offenses, immediately by the influence of sadhu sangha, he will be getting interest to associate that sadhu furthermore, and he will be doing the shravanam, and then after that he is doing the mananam, and so viparita asambhavanas are destroyed, and he will be getting the purna shraddha gradually. Yes, this will happen. But someone is having the several offenses. So if they are having the several offenses with him, then even after getting the association of the sadhu, here who is the sadhu? Vritrasura is the sadhu. And Indra is getting the association of the Vritrasura. No, he's seeing directly. It's also association actually. Directly seeing the association already is there. But he didn't get any interest to, oh my God, he is a Vritrasura, is such a devotee, and let me hear more. Did he get any fear? He didn't show that Shraddha. So that's why Vritrasura is not going to explain anything further like that. Because of these, several offenses are there with our great hero Indra. So he did already several offenses, and also he will do. So because of these reasons, so he doesn't get any Shraddha further, and so you should not instruct them. So, and also we saw, what is that actually, in which sloka? In yesterday's class only we were discussing one important point I discussed. Anyway, you are not going to hear me, so you remember that? But भूल गए actually, memory से out हो गए मेरा. कहाँ? Just 1 second. I will try 1 second. If it comes, then okay. Otherwise, like 1 point. Okay. This is, yeah, if someone is not showing the further Shraddha, so by that, so you will not be instructing that. Next. Sri Shuka Uvacha. 17, 18. Pranaglaho yam samara. 17 or 18, bolo yaar. आप लोग भूल गए? हाँ? 17. Pranaglaho yam samara. Ishvaksho Vahanasanaha atra na jayate mushya jayo mushya parajayah. O my enemy, consider this battle a gambling match in which our lives are the stakes, the arrows are the dice, and the animals acting as carriers are the game board. No one can understand who will be defeated and who will be victorious. It all depends on providence. So he is encouraging him. So further, our destiny, if in your destiny it is there, you are the winner, so you will win. So why you are worrying? Do your duty, follow your duty. So he is encouraging him. Next to Sri Sukuvacha, Indro Putravacha Srutva Gatalikam Apujayat Gruhita Vajraha Prahasan Tamaha Gata Vismayaha. So then what reacted? Our reaction came from the Indra. So that is said. Sukadeva Goswami said, hearing the straightforward instructive words of the Vritrasura king, Indra praised him and again took praised him and again took the thunderbolt in his hand. without the bewilderment or duplicity. He then smiled and spoke to Vritrasura as follows. Indravacha. Aho danava siddhosi yasyate matiridrishi bhakta sarvatmanatmanam suhridam jagadishwaram. Indra said, "Oh great demon, I see by your discrimination and endurance in devotional service, despite your dangerous position, that you are a perfect devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul and friend of everyone." Indra was appreciating Danavaha Siddha Asi. That means you are a great devotee. Yasyate Matiridrishi Bhakta Sarvatmanatmanam Suhrudam Jagadishwaram. You are the Bhakta, you are the devotee of the Lord. But next, Bhavan Atir Shinmayam Vaishnavim Janamohinim Yad Vihaya Surambhavam Mahapurushatam Gataha. You have surmounted the illusory energy of the Lord Vishnu, and because of this liberation, you have given up the demonic mentality and have attained the position of an exalted devotee. Bhavan Atirshan Mayam Vaishnavim Jaganmohi. So that's because he's a Lord's devotee, na? So he crossed already Maya. Indra is also recognizing this. Khilvedam mahadascharya yadraja prakrute stava vasudeve bhagavati sattvatmani drudamatihi. Vritrasura, demons are generally conducted by the mode of passion. Therefore, what a great wonder it is that although you are a demon, you have adopted the mentality of a devotee and have fixed your mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, who is always situated in pure goodness. So he is glorifying the devotion of the Vritrasura. Yasya bhaktir bhagavati haro nishreyaseshware vikridato mrutam bodhau kim kshudrai kata kodakai. A person fixed in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord Hari, the Lord of the highest auspiciousness, swims in the ocean of the nectar. For him, what is the use of water in a small ditches? Even after knowing everything, that means all the philosophy, you are not getting the taste for the Ananya Bhakti means what? So now Indra is in the presence of the Vritrasura. Vritrasura's good conduct he is seeing, his devotional values, qualities he is seeing, he is understanding all the qualities, and but still he is not at all getting the any desire for the pure devotion, and not at all he is getting the detachment for the heavenly pleasure. Why? Because of offenses. Because of his serious offenses towards the Lord and his devotees. Anyone in the presence of the pure devotee, and pure devotee is also instructing the glories of the Lord and the devotion, even after hearing also, if you are not able to get the taste for the Ananya Bhakti and not getting the Shraddha for Ananya Bhakti, means is a result of the offenses, previously done offenses. There are the 5 results: Kutilata, Ashraddha, Bhakti Nishta Chavaka, Vastvantar Abhiniveshaha, Saitilyam, and next one is Bhakti Kruta Ahankaraha. Because of this, he is not able to get any attachment. Like you see in the case of Daksha. So Narada was so patiently, he was hearing his curse and he didn't reply anything. So he cursed him. You will be, so go. So you will be always roaming. You will not be having any fixed place. So such a curse, but Narada was simply so kept quiet, and he is trying to see the some good conduct. That means let me, by even after scolding this much, so if he Daksha realizes this, oh, such a quality is there in the devotees. So if he gives a chance, so Daksha may give a chance to him to tell about the further glories of the Lord. He waited, but because of his unclean offense towards the Shiva is there, so that's why he was not able to hear anything actually. He showed his anger and he cursed, and
is not aware of his offenses, and he doesn't think he has offense as well as offenses. There is still certainly offenses there, and he's doing hard work, so much devotional service, so much services, so much things, but he's not enduring for offenses, remove the offenses. He's not cautious and conscious. Okay, so what is hope? How it will we go away offenses? How will move ahead?
You said two conditions. One condition, main condition, you said that he is already doing so much service. All the services he is doing, but so he is not endeavoring to remove his offenses, you are telling. So
Instructions, other things will not apply. It will not work. If somebody offensive, whatever association also not work. Instruction will not work because of offenses. He may understand, he may speak so many things. He may read Bhagavatam again, again. He may speaks, but so, and he was doing hard work, like means like sweating. Blood is coming out in this. So, but he's not cautious and conscious about offenses, and he doesn't believe I have offense. That feeling is not there. That I have offenses. Although filled with so much offenses.
so he is doing service
Because offensive person is not believing, accepting offenses, not realizing. But so service may be two category. Either agyat sukriti kind, means he doing service, getting some sukriti, or out of pride maybe also service may be there.
Yeah. So someone is doing the, you have to clearly tell that means he is doing this service out of the pride, like left and right. That means sometimes bhakti can be done for the getting the material gains also. Like you want to get position, then you will be getting the doing the service day and night. That's a rajasika bhakti actually. So it is a rajasika bhakti. One can be doing like this. And the main point is principal point you should understand. So one is clearly understanding the presence. He is in the presence of the pure devotee, and instructions is hearing, but he is not able to follow those, not able to work on his offenses. Yes, so he is doing offenses every day and not able to rectify those, not able to focus those on those things. So then he has such offenses which he cannot be overcome by himself actually. Then what will happen in this case? He will be doing for some time like that kind of service. Because of his further increased offenses, he will lose the taste for doing the service. He will lose taste for doing the service gradually in the due course of the time. So because Bhakti Maharani will give her mercy, so it is proportional to the eradication of the offenses. Eradication of offenses are based upon the so the bhajan actually. So if he is not doing the bhajan and just he is not trying to rectify those offenses, then what will happen? So offenses leading, and offenses one day will cross his service also. Whatever service he is doing, that is crossed by the offenses. The amount of offenses are more, then Bhakti Maharani will stop manifesting her glories. That means giving the pleasure to him. Then he will lose that service, and then he will get the new idea. Why I have to serve here? I will go and work outside, and I will earn money, and I will do this, I will do that. So I can get more better name, and he will try to leave the association also then next as a result. Then after that, so he will be like this, because of the serious offenses, many lifetimes he will be suffering. Once the suffering of the many lifetimes, then what will happen? The influence of the offenses will be reduced. The influence of the offenses is reduced, and then once again he will start that influence of the taste back to the bhakti. So then he will try to once again understand and try to do the bhakti. This will happen actually. But bhakti visa is already there. He will definitely go back to the Godhead. There is no doubt in that. Maybe 100 life or 100 or 1000 it may take. but he will go back to the Godhead. There is no doubt in that. But suffering will be there.
Yesterday, I was reading in Madhurya Kadamani
Yes.
that the fact that still we have not achieved Prema Bhakti itself indicates still we have offenses. It means there, Vishwanath Chakravarti want to say that it seems that you have to correct me if I am wrong or right. The offenses are completely cleared only in just in between Bhava and Prema stage.
Actually, Sukrutota, Dushkrutota, offenses means anarthas. See, here offenses means aparadas. You have to clear in this. Aparadas are different. That means whatever I am saying, so offenses, so against the holy name, that is a particularly, these are very dangerous. Actually, anarthas are 4 types. Anarthas are 4 types. Sukrutotanartha, Dushkrutotanartha, Bhaktyotanartha, Aparadotanartha. Especially we are talking about the Aparadotanartha, because these 3 anarthas, anarthas means unwanted thing. That means which is coming unwantedly for us in our practicing of devotion. So like example, our karma is not destroyed till now because of that. So prarabdha, sometimes we may get some material desires because of that prarabdha. So because, and Lord will be sanctioning also according to that. So because of uncleared prarabdha which is sanctioned by the Lord accordingly, so that it is so sprouting some material desires and which are becoming the obstacle for the bhakti. So that's why Sukrutotanartha, Duskrutotanartha, Bhaktyotanarthas. These 3 will be destroyed at the stage of Nishtha almost all completely. But one more anartha, that's Aparadotanartha, previously done the offenses. Those will be completely destroyed. So in the that means in the Prema stage actually. And complete, but Atyantika will happen when Bhagavad Prapti only. Otherwise, so in the Prema also there is may chance happen. So that's Purna, but complete eradication will happen in the Prema. In the Bhava also they are there actually. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. You told Aparada Yukta Anartha, then previously you told that 4 anarthas.
3 anarthas other
Yeah.
than that. So Sukruto Tanartha, Dushkruto Tanartha. A third one is Bhaktyut Tanartha. Bhaktyut Tanarthas means, so by doing the devotion, so when you do the bhajan kriya, almost all it is becoming steady. So in that stage, what will happen because of bhakti? So subhada, that means lot of auspicious results start coming. That means good name, fame. So some people may get the attraction for that. Because of the results of the bhakti, one may get attachment for those. So then that is causing the deviation from our steady devotion, steady bhajan. So that is a bhaktyutta anarthas. But those all will be destroyed at the stage of anartha nivritti itself. When one does a strong bhakti steadily, that means bhajan, if we endeavor to do bhajan 24 hours, then those will go.
Just like Pedamar Chaitanya Prabhu asked, it's a very good question.
Yeah.
Generally, in our devotees association, we are very sincere in increasing our quality and quantity of services.
Yes.
We are callous.
Yes.
We are careless.
Yes.
Just like Prabhu asked, in that zone,
Yes.
avoiding offenses.
Yes.
In your classes also, many times I have that one point I want to clear. For removing offenses, generally you also said many times, many devotees also say that we have to increase our bhajan, we have to increase our chanting and everything. But it seems something more than that, because it's a matter of attitude actually.
Yeah.
You have to correct me, I don't know, it's my realization. This attitude, it seems to me that it can be corrected just by doing bhajan. I think it has to be corrected in seeing the character of the devotees who has corrected that attitude, because basically it's in our dealing with Vaishnavas, our attitude is wrong.
Yes.
It's a very deep disease actually.
Yeah. So your question, if I am understanding clearly, so I want to repeat it so you can tell me so whether it is right or wrong. So your point is, what is the role of attitude? So in the practicing of devotion and removing the offenses, further offenses. So this is a question I think you are asking. Or only by bhajan? Only by bhajan itself will take care, or do we need to change the character also? Do we need to work on the character also? This is the point actually. Yeah. So like so yes, so some practicing of some kind of patience and some kind of humility and some kind of so other qualities, actually patience, humility, compassion, so that means daya, that means these are all products of the sattva guna also, you know. So here two types are there, Prabhu. So practitioners are three types: Kanishta practitioners, Madhyama practitioners, and Uttama practitioners. Kanishta practitioners, they will be focusing on the good qualities and also doing the devotion. Then it is known as Gnana Mishra, what means Bhakti Sadhana. That means sadhakas are so said, that means bhaktas are categorized based upon the manasalinga. Manasalinga means based upon their mental consciousness. So Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama is also classified, that we have seen in the Prabuddhas, that means is classifying the devotees. So Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. So that we discussed, that is different, and classification of devotees can be done based upon the sadhana also. So that means whoever is depending on the, that means good qualities along with the bhakti, so their shraddha is not there on the bhakti fully. Ananya bhakti they are not having, and they are trying to endeavor, actually they are trying to endeavor on the good qualities, so support as a support for the bhakti. So gnana, that means this compassion, these things you can see in that our Navayogis. So one, I think who is that, I am not remembering. So one is saying, that means practicing anya sadhanas, gnana and karma sadhanas as an assistant for the bhakti. So they are also known as, that is known as karma mishra bhakti or gnana mishra bhakti. So that is known as actually, you know, it is, of course, those are also Bhagavad Dharma. Now they are becoming Bhagavad Dharma only because they are now supporting the bhakti. So they are also known as bhakti, but they are not pure bhakti. But the pure sadhaka, how he'll be so practicing, he'll be fully dependent on the so bhakti only. So by practicing bhakti, so klesha agni subhada, that means all the auspicious qualities will manifest definitely by doing the bhakti. Such a faith he has, and he'll be doing. So then what will happen? So this will be, and he read the Shastra. So from the Shastra, it is clearly instructed. So one should not do, so that means Shastra, majorly Shastra is purpose of what? To develop the Shraddha and to avoid the offenses. This is the main purpose of the Shastra. So Shastra will increase our faith in the Lord. So Shastrartha Vishwasaha. And by that, you will be understanding the, so where we can commit the offenses. So that's why that person is so fully, that means depending on the bhakti, dependent on the bhakti, he is dependent on the bhakti, and he will not commit offenses on the strength of the, so the instructions given by the Shastra actually. And yeah, so by this what is going to happen? So his ananyata towards the bhakti is not damaged actually. But when we try to improve the qualities based upon the just by the material goodness, which are manifest out of the goodness, like we can see in the Mahabharata, so many stories. So you can, they are very charitable and they are very compassionate towards the material miserable people. So such a qualities, if we develop, so trying to develop those, so then our shraddha is lacking in the bhakti. That will be yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvai gunai tatra samasate suraha. So this is, so akinchana bhakti if we do, but only thing is good conduct means what? Knowing about the offenses. Vaishnava etiquette means what? It is, etiquette is there to not to commit offenses. So that etiquette is nothing but the design based upon, so how to avoid the offenses. That is only actually etiquette means. Huh?
Vaishnavata will come at etiquette naturally become refined. Naturally,
Etiquettes has to be,
good
we should,
quality. Quality will
we should, that's why we should learn from the Shastra. Like Padma Purana is telling these 10 offenses. And after that, Shastra Acharyas in that's Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Harinam Chintamani, is writing especially on these 10 offenses, elaborating such a big book. Completely he elaborated all this. So that's why we should understand very subtly these offenses, chance of committing these offenses, and only we need to do what? So full Shraddha, keep on bhakti, and try to avoid the offenses. So fully, as much as possible. Then our Shraddha will be, bhakti is maintained, and then we'll be progressing.
That point only I'm
Yeah.
coming, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Jnana Misra Bhakti ka baat chhod do.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
Based on Sadhugun, we want to develop some good qualities.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Yeah.
We are doing Ananya Bhakti. We have complete faith on the process of Navida Bhakti. Only by doing this, we can develop good qualities. But then also, like you say, these Padma Puranas examples and Harinam Chintamani, for me, it seems they have something, it seems insufficient, or maybe lack of my qualification. Because it is basically interaction between devotees and practical vaibhava. In that we commit many offenses. We, whether just by, as you said, definitely we have to depend on Bhakti Maharani only, because he has to only give the intelligence ultimately how to behave in that particular situation towards a particular devotee or group of devotees. My only question is that I trust what you said is correct, because he has to give the intelligence ultimately. Whether we can, my only question is whether we can take help from the activities or vyavahar of the advanced devotees also, and we can learn, oh, I have to behave in this way in this particular situation. That is my only question.
Yeah,
Because
so we can learn from the Shastra, we can learn from the sadhus. So sadhu sangha, by seeing the sadhus, their association, like you see gopis who came from the other villages, they are gopis and they came from the other villages, they are not at all studied any Shastra, and now they married the gopas in the Vraja, and that means someone he belonged to Lucknow or some other village, so they married in Vraja, and now they came. After that, they are associating the Nitya Siddha gopis, and by just seeing the love how they are having towards the Krishna, and these uneducated gopis came from the other villages away from the Vraja, and that means they are normal women actually, and now married, and now they started getting the association of this Nitya Siddha gopis, and they also became the now pure devotees, and they also developed that. So they didn't study any Padma Purana and understand this. So by the association, they got the bhava and prema. So also, so this is there. So even, yeah, by that association, they will learn definitely. And also, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. These three things are the mains we can learn. So the main point is we have to expert actually. We should become expert. Definitely because of our conditioning nature is there, and because of this conditioning nature, what is happening? So we are not able to come out from that conditioning and behaving so as we trained in our from the childhood in the family tradition. So then that is spontaneously that nature comes, and so which is against the principles of the Vaishnavism, etiquettes of the Vaishnavism. So we unknowingly also we commit. So but one will become sensitive as much as he get the good association, and as much as he will be so practicing bhakti, will definitely understand. And also good association, learning the various cases. So various cases we are studying from the Bhagavatam, from the scriptures. Bhagavatam is also is a Bhagavat living example. This is Bhagavatam living example, living person, and also book Bhagavatam. Both are also is guiding us. So how to be careful, and what are the effects came from the previously offenses they did, and so by this we will become alert actually. So but yeah, it is a way so we can progress. So yeah. O Maharaj Parikshit, Sri Sukha so Sukadeva Goswami said that, so Vritrasur and King Indra spoke about the devotional service even on the battlefield, and then as a matter of duty, they again began fighting. My dear king, both of them were great fighters and were equally powerful. Actually, both are powerful heroes, you know. So Indra also is not a ordinary hero. Now what happened, you see further, avidya parigam vrutraha karshnaya samarindama indraya prahinodghoram vamahastena marisha. O Maharaj Parikshit, Vritrasur, who was completely able to subdue his enemy, took his iron club, whirled it around, aimed at the Indra, and then threw it him with his left hand. So Indra took that Vajrayuda back and he stood back. Then now what? Once he took it back, so Vritrasura with the left hand only, so he released one more weapon on one more iron club on the Indra. So then what happened? Satuvrutrasya parigam karam cha kara bhopamam chicheda yugapaddevo vajrena sataparvana. With his thunderbolt named Shataparvana, Indra simultaneously cut the pieces Vritrasura club and his remaining hand. That means left hand also gone now. So when he released Vajrayuda, so that destroyed that club and also the right hand is cut down. Now without hands he is standing. My God. And all the blood is now pouring like anything. So see how he is looking. Daurbhyamutkrutta मूलाभ्याम बभौ रक्तस्रवो सुरः चिन्न पक्षो यथा गोत्रः खाद भ्रष्टो वज्रिणा हतः. Vritrasura bleeding profusely, his two arms cut off at the roots, looked very beautiful, like a flying mountain whose wings have been cut to pieces by Indra. Next, Mahaprano Mahaviryo Mahasarpa iva dvipam Katkrutvadharam Hanum Bhumau Daityo Divyam Uttaram Hanum Nabho Gambira Vaktrena Leli Holbana Jihvaya Damstrabhihi Kala Kalpabhir Grasan Niva Jagatrayam Atimatra Mahakaya Akshipantara Sagarin गिरिराट पादचरीवा पद्भ्याम निर्जरयन्महिं जग्रास समासाद्य वज्रिणं सहवाहनम. Vritrasura was very powerful in physical strength and influence. He placed his lower jaw on the ground and his upper jaw in the sky. His mouth became very deep, like the sky itself, and his tongue resembled a large serpent. With his fearful death-like teeth, he seemed to be trying to devour the entire universe. Thus, assuming a gigantic body, the great demon Vritrasura shook even the mountains and began crushing the surface of the earth with his legs, as if he were the Himalayas walking about. He became before Indra and swallowed him and Airavata, his carrier, just as a big python might swallow an elephant. So now Vritrasura, what he did? So he's bending and he keeping his lower jaw on the earth and opening mouth, and he picked the Indra and his Airavat and swallowed inside. Vrutragrastam tamalokya saprajapataya sura ha kastamiti nirvinnas chakrushu samaharshayaha. When the demigods along with the Brahma, other Prajapatis and other great saintly persons saw that Indra had been swallowed by the demon, they became very morose. Alas, they lamented, what a calamity, what a calamity. Nigirnopyusurendrena namamarodaram gataha mahapurusha sannadho yoga maya balena cha. The protective armor of the Narayana, which Indra possessed, was identical with Narayana himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Protected by that armor, and by his own mystic power, the king Indra, so although swallowed by Vritrasura, didn't die within the demon's belly, because Indra is protected by the Narayana Kavach. So inside the Vritrasura, he was still safe. Vitva vajrena tatkukshim nishkramya balibhidvyubuhu Uchakarta Shira Shatrur Girisrangamiv Aujasa. With his thunderbolt, King Indra, so who was also extremely powerful, pierced through Vritrasura's abdomen and came out. Indra, the killer of the demon Bala, then immediately cut off Vritrasura's head. He was as high as the peak of mountain. So just Vritrasura's stomach he pierced and he came out. Vrajrastu tatkandaramashu vegaha kruntan samantat parivartamanaha nyapatayat tavadaharganena yo jyotishamayena vartrahatye. Although the thunderbolt revolved around Vritrasura's neck with great speed, separating his head from his body, took one complete year. Vajrayuda took one complete year to cut the Vritrasura's neck, so that head can be separated from the body. So the time in which the sun, moon, and other luminaries complete a northern and southern journey. Then at the suitable time for Vritrasura to be killed, his head fell to the ground. So finally, 1 year later, so his head is fell down. Tada chake dundu bhayo vinedur gandharva siddha samaharshi sangha vartragna lingaistamabhishtuvanam antrair muda kusumairabhyavarshan. Mantraihi actually. Mantrair muda kusumairabhyavarshan. When Vritrasura was killed, the Gandharvas and Siddhas in the heavenly planets beat kettle drums in jubilation. With Vedic hymns, they celebrated the prowess of Indra, the killer of Vritrasura, praising Indra and showering flowers upon him with great pleasure. Vritrasya dehat nishkrantamatma jyotirarindama Pashyatam sarva devanam alokam samapadyata. O King Parikshit, subduer of enemies, the living spark then came forth from the Vritrasura's body and returned home back to Godhead. While all the demigods looked on, he entered the transcendental world to become an associate of Lord Sankarshana. Okay, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Indra, not Vritrasura, was actually killed. So explains that Indra, so not Vritrasura, was actually killed. He says that when Vritrasura swallowed King Indra and his carrier, the elephant, he thought, now I have killed Indra, and therefore there is no more need of fighting. Now let me return home back to Godhead. Thus he stopped all his bodily activities and became situated in trance. Taking advantage of the silence of Vritrasura's body, Indra pierced the demon's abdomen, and because of Vritrasura's trance, Indra was able to come out. Now Vritrasura was in Yoga Samadhi, and therefore, although King Indra wanted to cut his throat, the demon's neck was so stiff that Indra's thunderbolt took 300 days to cut it pieces. Actually, it was the body left by the Vritrasura that was cut to pieces by Indra. Vritrasura himself was not killed. In his original consciousness, Vritrasura returned home back to Godhead to become an associate of Lord Sankarshana. So, this is a science actually. So, main important point, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is revealing. What is the main point? Vritrasura already, so he is in the Samadhi and he left, and then, so just in the Samadhi body, whatever is there, so that he cut actually. Dead body he cut. Yeah. So that's why in the first line itself he is writing. So Thakur explains that Indra, so not Uttarasura, was actually killed. Uttarasura was not actually killed. Thus end the Bhaktivinoda purports of the 6th canto, 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Uttarasura's Glorious Death. So next chapter, Sri Sukha Vacha. So in this chapter, we are going to see the Indra is going to do the Aswamedha Yaga to get the remedy, the rectification of the Brahmahatya. Second time he did, na? So Brahmahatya, because previously it is said, whenever he distributed that sin to that 4 parts into the 4 people, so earth and water, trees and woman, so but still the bija is there. Bija for committing the, so bija for killing the Brahmanas is there in the heart of the Indra. So he once again so killed the Vritrasur. So see further, so what he did. Sri Sukha Vacha Vrutre hate trayo loka vina shakrena bhurida sapala hyabhavan sadyo vijvara nirvritendriya. So Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O King Parikshit, who are so charitable disposed when Vritrasura was killed, all presiding deities and everyone else in the 3 planetary systems was immediately pleased and free from the trouble, everyone, that is except Indra. Indra was not at all happy even after killing, because he was fearing of Brahmahatya once again. देवर्षि पितृभूतानि दैत्या देवानुगः स्वयं प्रतिजग्मुः स्वदिष्ण्यानि ब्रह्मेशेन्द्रादयस्ततः. Thereafter, the demigods, the great saintly persons, the inhabitants of the Pitraloka and Bhutaloka, the demons, the followers of the demigods, and also Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the demigods subordinate to Indra, all returned to their respective homes while departing. However, no one spoke to Indra. In this connection, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, so Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other demigods returned to their respective abodes, but Indra didn't, for he was disturbed by having killed Vritrasura, who was actually a Brahmana. After killing Vritrasura, Indra went to a Manas Sarovara lake to become free from sinful reactions. When he left the lake, he performed an Aswamedha Yajna and then returned to his own abode. So it is from the Vishwanath Chakravarti. Tasma tata ityanena manasa sarovarad agatya pavartitad aswamedat paratah iti vyakyayam. Indra went to his abode after doing these things. Like this, we should take. Indra didn't go to his abode means what? He went where then? He went to Manas Sarovara. They did the Aswamedha and then he went back. Sri Raja Uvacha Indrasya Anivritte hetum srotum ichchami bho mune yonasan sikhino deva harer dukkam kruto bhavat. So Maharaj Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, O great sage, what was the reason for Indra's unhappiness? I wish to hear about this. When he killed Vritrasura, all the demigods were extremely happy. Why then he was Indra himself unhappy? So here from here onwards, topic changes. Actually, story is what? So after killing, everyone went, but Indra didn't go. So this much is said he was unhappy. But actually scene is what? He went to Manas Sarovar and he performed the Aswamedha Yajna, and then after that he went back. So now that is the actual happened story. Parikshit is asking now why he is unhappy. So then Sukadeva Goswami explains that same thing. So he was feeling the unhappiness because of doing the Brahmahatya, and for the remedy, so he performed the Aswamedha Yajna and he did there in the Manas Sarovara, and then he went back. That thing only he will explain actually. Okay. So Sri Sukha Vacha Vrutra Vikrama Samvigna Sarve Deva Saharshibihi Tadvadayarda Yannindram Nechat Bhito Bruhadvadat. Sri Sukadeva Goswami answered, when all the great sages and the demigods were disturbed by the extraordinary power of Vritrasura, they had assembled to ask Indra to kill him. Indra, however, being afraid of the killing a Brahmana, declined their request. Indra Vacha, Stri Bhudruma Jalaireno Vishwarupa Vadodbhavam Vibhakta Anugruhnadbhir Vrutrahatyam Kwa Maham. King Indra replied, when I killed Vishwarupa, I received extensive sinful reactions, but I was favored by the woman, land, trees, and water, and therefore I was able to divide the sin among them. But now, if I kill Vritrasura, another Brahmana, how shall I free myself from the sinful reaction? Sisukuvacha, Roshayaha tadupakarnya Mahendramidam abruvan Yadayishyama Badram te Hayamedhena Masma Bhayaihi. So Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, hearing this, the great sages replied to King Indra, O king of heaven, all good fortune unto you, don't fear, we shall perform an Aswamedha sacrifice to release you from any sin you may accrue by killing Eda Brahmana. Wait, here, so Vishnu, here Jiva Goswami's commentary we should see. So what Jiva Goswami is saying, Roshayastu Jagat Swasthyaya Tasyapi Asura Bhava Nashaya Sri Bhagavad Agna Balena Samprojitavantaha Ityavipreetya Roshay iti. Actually, here the logic is there. What is that logic? Actually, all these rishis are asking Indra to kill the Vritrasura. Why? Even rishis are also influenced by the Vishnu. Vishnu's duty is maintaining the whole universe. So whenever the something is over, that means Sattva is over, then he will suppress the Sattva and increase the Rajoguna. When Rajoguna increases, then he will suppress the Rajoguna and he will also, so maintains all the things are balanced. Stitir Vaikunta Vijayaha. So maintenance is done by the Vishnu through the mode of goodness. So that's why he is giving the all the control to the mode of goodness. So these rishis are controlled by the mode of goodness, and they are all controlled by the instructions of the Vishnu. So Vishnu, that means Sri Bhagavad Agna Palena Samprojitavantaha. All these sages are provoked or otherwise are induced. So to instruct Indra by the strength of the orders given by the Vishnu. Because in the Shastras we know, so these are this should be done, this should not be done. So rishis are studying these Vedas and Shastras. So asuras should not be entertained, they should be killed. So these are all they are learning, and they are based upon that strength they are saying. That means what? It is the strength of the order of the Vishnu only they are saying. So ultimately in this, so rishis, there is no wrong actually. They are not doing any wrong thing. They are asking Indra to kill. So ataha dosha abhasatvat prayaschitta abhasam api udbhavayanti. This is a point you should understand. So now Indra, if he kills the Vritrasura, then it is what? Dosha abhasa. Dosha abhasa. It is not real dosha, because there is no wrong in this. Asuras has to be killed. Asuras has to be killed, otherwise they will destroy the whole universe and there will be no maintenance. So that's why dosha abhasa and prayachitta abhasa also. If dosha is abhasa and prayachitta also is abhasa only, abhasa prayachitta only should be done. So that's why namesake he did the Aswamedha Yaga. Understand? Indra didn't do any dosha. Tatra Viryatishayadhana Gnapanardham Ahuhu Narayanam Ishtva iti. Okay, remaining is normal. This is an important point we should understand here. ट्वेल्थ चैप्टर में क्वेश्चंस हैं क्या कुछ? अच्छा, क्वेश्चंस तो बनाए नहीं हम लोग. 12th चैप्टर पर क्वेश्चंस बनाए नहीं. 1 मिनट बना देंगे. नहीं तो अभी चैप्टर ऐसे कुछ भी क्वेश्चंस नहीं पता चलेगा, तो लास्ट में हम कुछ बना के देंगे तो अभी अननोन क्वेश्चन हो जाएगा। सो क्या है इसमें, इतना इम्पोर्टेंट कुछ है नहीं ना प्रभु, कुछ इसमें इतना। हाउ रुद्रासुरा encourages Indra for fighting with him. How Vritrasura encourages Indra so to fight with him. Previously also he did, that is different. That is from the 11th chapter. But here from the 12th chapter you should write. He is telling this so many, there's so many things he said actually. Sloka, if you take yeah, 7th sloka, yes. Before that also, Indra was in a great danger. So that means after the Vajrayuda fell down, then he will be encouraging, na? So those you should write. So to take it back, it will go till 17. Till 17 it goes. Shisukuvacha. 7 to 17. 10 marks. Simple you should write. Okay, we'll go further. So now you should write the 2 marks question on this. So this Jiva Goswami's point here. This is 13th chapter. In the 13th chapter, yeah. So Ashwamedha Yaga is done by the Indra as atonement is Abhasa. So Ashwamedha Yaga done by Indra as an atonement for Brahmahatya is Abhasa only. Why? Okay. So this 2 marks it will. You should explain that. So he was, you see in the 6th sloka, Roshayas Tadu Upakarnya Mahendram Idam Abruvan. Roshayas Tadu Upakarnyam Yadayishyama Badram De Hayamedana Masma Bhaihi. So Indra just hearing from the rishis and he did this. Actually, he is not at all interested in killing the Vritrasura because already he got the Brahmahatya. Pap, sin from the Brahmahatya. But rishis ordered. Why rishis ordered? Because that is the order of the Lord. Why is this order? Because Lord always wants to maintain this Jagat Swasthyaya, Tasyapi Asura Bhavanashaya. That's why it is Aparadha Bhasa, Dosha Bhasa. That's why Prayachitta also is becoming the Abhasa only. Aswamedha is just a namesake he did. Why? To set an example in the society. Are he Brahmana killed Brahmana and he didn't do any Prayachitta? What is this? People will think, na? So that is also point you should add actually. This point also you should add. So why he did? This is the reason actually. So society, otherwise everyone will kill Brahmana and Indra also didn't do any atonement. I will not do. But here people may not understand this is the order of the rishis and that is the order of the Vishnu, so it can be done. But so that is a point actually. Next, Hayamedena Purusham Paramatmanam Ishwaram Ishtva Narayanam Devam Mokshasepi Jagadvadhat. The rishis continued, O King Indra, by performing an Aswamedha sacrifice and thereby pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Super Soul Lord Narayana, the Supreme Controller, one can be relieved even of the sinful reactions for killing the entire world, not to speak of killing a demon like Vritrasura. So what to speak of killing one man? So the rishis, they are all completely impartial actually. Rishis are there, we are all biased actually, but they are all impartial and they see the instructions of Shastra as it is and they just repeat those instructions given by the Lord in the Shastra. So that's why their words are different. And we, general people, general mass, they are influenced by the modes and they will be taking their own advantage actually. So then that is a sin actually. So next, Brahmaha Pitruha Gogno Matruha Charya Ha Gavan Swadaha Pulka Sovapi Shudyet Yasya Kirtanat Tamamakena Shraddhayanvito Tamaswamedena Mamakena Shraddhanvito Smabhiranushitena Hatvapi sa brahmachara charam tvam nalipyase kim khala nigrahena. So 8 and 9, let us go. Acharya Jiva Goswami didn't give anything. One who has killed a Brahmana, one who has killed a cow, one who has killed his father, mother, or spiritual master can be immediately freed from all sinful reactions simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord Narayana. Other sinful persons, such as dog eaters and chandalas who are less than Sudras, can also be freed in this way. But you are a devotee and we shall help you by performing the great horse sacrifice. If you please, so if you please Lord Narayana in that way, why should you be afraid? You will be freed even if you kill the entire universe, including the Brahmanas, not to speak of killing a disturbing demon like Vritrasur. They are not committing sin. Actually, you may say it is on the strength of the holy name committing the sinful activity. But it is not sinful activity. Then you can say it is sinful activity because they are doing it for Lokaraksha, for Loka Kalyanam, for the welfare of the society. They are killing the Vritrasur. It's not a sinful. So what is the seventh offense? Committing sinful activity on the strength of the holy name. This is not the sinful activity. Dosha Abhas, already we said, na? Because that is the power of holy name. So yeah, you can ask question in the mic, then we will understand what you are asking. Ask.
Actually, the question is like that this rishis, they are inspiring that if you kill these brahmanas, gurus, spiritual, then father, mother, and even including whole universe, there will be no problem, because only by chanting holy name, your all sins will be eradicated. So don't get afraid.
Yes.
So they, in my sense, they are doing 7 for others, because in the power of name, power of holy name.
Very good question actually. This is intelligence.
They are inspiring to kill
Very
the whole
nice.
universe.
Very nice. Very nice question you are asking. So it's like they are telling that, so he provoking Indra to kill even Brahmanas also. You can kill Brahmanas and you can clear that sin by the holy name. So this kind of encouragement they are giving. But their intention is not to commit the offenses or not to allow others to commit offenses on the strength of the holy name. Just Viryati Shaya Adhana Gnapanartham Ahuhu. What? Virya Atishaya Adhana Gnapanartham. The power of the holy name. Just to show or to say just to remind the glory of the holy name. So to all of us, the power of the holy name, to remind the power of the holy name, only they are saying this. Their intention is not to provoke the people to commit the sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. No. That means holy name is Such a power. It can relieve one from the, so Brahma Hatya also, and also Guru Hatya, so Matru Hatya, Pitru Hatya, everything. Such a power it is having. So it's just a Kaimuttika. That means by mentioning all these names, these Hatyas, the glory of the holy name is glorified here. In that sense, we should take. Gadiva Goswami is saying that. So Viryatishaya, Tatra Viryatishaya Adhana Gnapanarthamahu Narayanam Ishtva iti. But actually there is no dosha at all. There is no sinful activity is done by Indra. Sishukovacha evam samsojito viprair marutva nahana nadripum brahmahatya hate tasmin asasada ushakapim. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, encouraging by the words of the sages, Indra killed Vritrasura, and when he was killed, the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana, so certainly took shelter of Indra. After killing Vritrasura, Indra couldn't surpass the Brahmahatya, the sinful reaction for killing the Brahman. Formerly, he had killed one Brahmana Viswarupa out of the circumstantial anger, but this time, following the advice of the sages, he killed another Brahmana, so purposefully. Therefore, the sinful reaction was greater than before. Indra couldn't be relieved from the reaction simply by performing sacrifice for atonement. He had to undergo the severe series of sinful reactions, and when he was freed by such a suffering, the Brahmanas allowed him to perform the harsh sacrifice. The planned execution of sinful deeds on the strength of chanting the holy name of the Lord or undergoing the Prayaschitta atonement cannot give relief to anyone, even to Indra or Nahusha. Nahusha was officiating for Indra while Indra, absent from heaven, was going here and there to gain release from his sinful reactions. क्या बोल रहे हैं प्रभुपाद जी? चलो कमेंट्री देखेंगे. एवं तस्य आत्मनि पापस्य न अत्युपपत्तौ अपि साभिमाना तदधिष्ठात्री तु तम अभिभवितुम उद्यते इत्याह ब्रह्महत्या इति. From where Prabhupada wrote this? Okay, tasmin vrutre hate sati urshikapim indram अत्र प्रायश्चित्त बलेन प्रापाचरणात् पूर्वतः अपि इयम् अति प्रबला दुःख भोगेन विना केवलेन प्रायश्चित्तेन न शाम्यति इत्यतः एव ते तदानीम् अश्वमेधेन तं नैव याजमासुर इति ज्ञेयम्. ते ऋष्यादयोऽपि प्रायश्चित्त बलेन पाप प्रवर्तनात् जन्यस्य अपराधस्य फलं चिरकाल व्यापिनी दर्वस्थाम इंद्र पदारूढ़ेन नहुषेण तदानीमेव प्रापिता इति च ज्ञेयम्. Actually, Srila Prabhupada wrote from the Vishwanath Chakravarti. Both are having the different opinions actually. Jiva Goswami said that There is no dosha at all. And after that, he didn't comment on this. and, and Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying differently actually. What here in this Jiva Goswami's commentary is there? Evam tasya atmani papasya na atyupapattau api sabhimana sa abhimana sa tad adhishtatri tu tam abhibhavitum udyate ityaha. Actually here what Jiva Goswami is saying, you know, of course Indra didn't do any sin, but evam tasya atmani papasya na atyupapattau api. Of course there is no sin in the Indra, because even killing the Vrutaraष्ट्ra he didn't get any sin. But sabhimana tadadishtatritu. So here the sin is the actually sin is taking the shelter of him, and it is just provoking him to do the sinful reactions. It's a namesake actually. What is the point here? So evam tasya atmani papasya na atyupapattau api. That means papa is not produced in him. Is not produced. Api, that even it is not produced. Sabhimana tadadishtatri tu tam abhibhavitum udyate abhibhavitum udyate ityaha brahmahatya iti. Only one line he wrote. But here Vishwanath Chakravarti is writing differently actually. He is saying tasmin vrutre hate sati vrusha kapindram atra प्रायश्चित्त बलेन पापाचरणात् पूर्वतः अपि अयम अति प्रबला दुःख भोगेन विना केवलेन प्रायश्चित्तेन न शाम्येत इति. Here taking is completely different. He is telling actually he did already brahmahatya and he did atonement for that. That means he suffered for 1 year. In the first brahmacharya when he did, for 1 year he suffered or not? After suffering 1 year, then he distributed the, after then that is reduced, the influence of the sin is reduced. Then he gave that 4 parts to the 4 people. And also they got the benefit and also they got the reactions. But now on the strength of the, that means you see, you killed someone and did the atonement, and once again if you kill, then you will get the more sin now. That means on the strength of the atonement, if you do sin, then that is incurring the more sin. Vishwanath is saying like that. अरे एक बार ब्रह्म हत्या किया और atonement करके he did atonement, and now once again he is doing the sin, means he will be incurring more sin. He took entirely different. Or Baba took differently. Or Swamiji took differently. Ko Swami. तो क्या करें? If you on the strength of holy name, if you commit a sin offense, then it is more powerful or not? Once again, that means if you keep on thinking every time I will atone my sins by the holy name, then holy name will be giving the more and more reactions. It is intensifying the reactions. Similarly, atonement, on the strength of the atonement, if you do more and more sin, then double punishment. King also will give same punishment. King also will be using the same rule. If anyone is doing if someone killed the Brahmana, king is giving some maybe 10 years of jail, 10 years of punishment, jail punishment. Next time he punished for 10 years in jail, and then after that he went back and he killed once again. Now I will once again go for the atonement and I will do. Then king will give 20 years now. That's the rule. Double. So that's why प्रायश्चित्त बलेन पापाचरणात् पूर्वतः अपि iyam ati prabala. This sin is more strong. So that's why dukkha bhogena vina kevalena prayaschitena na samyet. So that's why this will not go by just by the atonement, but it will need also suffering. Ityatah eva te tadanim aswamedena tam naiva yajayamahu iti gneyam. So that's why these rishis said that, so we will not do aswamedha yajna for you as atonement. You first suffer. Because without suffering, just atonement cannot remedy for this. Te rishayadaya api prayaschitta balena papa pravartanat janyasya aparadasya phalam. So chirakala vyapinim. So duravastham indra so padharudena nushena tadhanim prapita iticha agneyam. And also it is said that te rishayadaya api prayaschitta balena papa pravartanat. He is mixed actually. Sakama bhakta. Even rishis also, rishyadaya api prayaschitta balena papa pravartanat. They also said what? Okay, we'll do Ashwamedha Yajna. In previously, if you see what he said, Rusheha Tadopakaranya, Hayamedena Purusham, Paramatmanam Ishwaram, Ishtva, Narayanam Deva, Mokshase, Api Jagat Badat. That what they said, we'll be doing the atonement, don't worry, you go on, do this sin. This they also did mistake or not? There's their mistake also. Rusheha also did the same thing. On the strength of the atonement, if you provoke someone to do the sin, then they will get in more powerful reaction actually. Papa pravartanat janyasya aparadasya phalam. So whatever the result is coming of this sin, chirakala vyapinim, it will be there for a long time then. This result of the sin will be there for a long time. Vyapinim duravastham. So duravastham indra padarhudena ruhushena tadhanim prapita. So this result you can see in the case of Ruhusha also. Ruhusha, what happened? So he was just appointed as a person for the Indra. So his time being he was appointed as a representative of Indra, but he got attachment for the Shachi, and then whole story went to another direction actually. That problem, that is the sin, reaction of the sin. You should understand like that. This is the reaction coming from the sin done by all these rishis. So like that you should take. This is said. Okay, next. How to take this? That's up to you actually. Both acharyas have the two different interpretations. It is possible actually. We'll read the purport. It is said in the Brihad Vishnu Purana, Namno hi yavati shakti papa nirharane harehe. So also in the Prema Vaivarta, Eka Krishna Name papira yata papa ksha. So this means that by the once chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from the reactions of the more sins that can be imagined performing. The holy name is so spiritually potent that simply by chanting the holy name, one can be freed from the reactions to all sinful activities. What then is to be said of those who chant the holy name regularly or worship the deity regularly? For such a purified devotee is freed from sinful reactions certainly assured. This doesn't mean, however, that one should intentionally commit sinful acts and think himself free from the reactions because he is chanting the holy name. Such a mentality is most abominable offense at the lotus feet of the holy name. Namno baladyasya papa buddhir. So potency have neutralized all sinful activities. But if one repeatedly and intentionally commits sins while chanting the holy name, he is most condemned. These verses name these verses name the performers of various sinful deeds. In the Manu Samhita, the following names are given: a son begotten by Brahmana and born from the womb of a Sudra mother is called the Parashava or Nishada. A hunter so accustomed to stealing. A son begotten by a Nishada in the womb of a Sudra woman is called the Pokasha. A children begotten Kshatriya. Okay, these are all. Okay. Okay, dog eater. All such offsprings are considered extremely sinful. But the holy name of the personality of Godhead is so strong that all of them can be purified simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The Hare Krishna movement offers everyone a chance to be purified, regardless of birth or family. A confirmed Bhagavatam, Kirata, Huna, Andhra. So all you know this. So herein, so even such a sinful persons can certainly be purified if they chant the holy name of the Lord under the directions of pure devotee. Herein the sages encourage King Indra to kill Vritrasura even at the risk of the Brahmahatya, the killing of Brahmana, and they guarantee to release him from the sinful reactions by performing an Ashwamedha Yajna. Such a purposeful devised atonement, however, cannot relieve the performer of sinful acts. This will be seen from the following verses. So what Vishwanath is saying that whatever the sin that both did the wrong thing. So Vishwanath is considering this as sin only, and Jiva Goswami is considering this is not at all sin. It's abhasa, aparadha abhasa, dosha abhasa. Two are two different. So that's why the explanation is also different. So now if you take it as a sin, then what will happen? So whatever second time killing the Vritrasura is, if you consider it as a sin, then what will happen? So then it is the sin, and committing the once again Brahmahatya on the strength of the, that means after committing first one and doing atonement and committing second one is more sinful actually, and it will get in the, so more, that means atonement is not sufficient, and also dukkha bhoga is also needed. So for this what, so these rishis, they didn't do atonement immediately. So Indra went for the, so much, that means time for the getting the reaction from this sin that he did. That's why. So te rishayadahapi, and rishis also what they said, don't worry, you kill him and we'll be doing the atonement. So that means provoking someone to do sin on the strength of the, so atonement is also more powerful actually. So that's why Janasya aparadha phalam chiratka, then whatever the reaction is there, that will be there for the long time. Chirakala vyapanim duravastham. So Indra pada rudena nushena tadhanim prapita. So this is also so by the rishis, they are instructing with the with this kind of mood. So you can see the reaction is there in the case of the, so whoever is holding that Indra pada, that means Nruhusha, in his case also you can see, because of this sin only he got the desire for the, so enjoying the Sachi. Nruhusha also got. So like this you should do differently. So explanations you should give. Write the two different explanations on. Yeah. So Indra killing the, two different explanations on so killing of Vritrasura, right? Two different explanations. Explanations on atonement for, atonement no. So write the two different explanations on atoning of, atoning is there, no. So on atoning of Vritrasura's atoning of killing Vritrasura. Right, two different explanations as per VCT and JG, as per VCT and Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti and Jiva Goswami, in atoning of Vritrasura's killing of Vritrasura. Okay. Write two different explanations given by the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Jiva Goswami in case of atoning of Uttarasura's killing. Marks will be it's not big or not small. 5 marks. So next Sri Sukha Vacha. I will take some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Is it possible? I will finish this chapter if you all allow. Already 20 minutes over, extra we took. Another 15-20 minutes is needed. Sri Sukha Vacha. Evam sanchodito viprair marutva nahana dripum Brahmahatya hate tasmin asasada vrusha kapim. So Sukadeva Goswami said, encouraging by the words of the sages, Indra killed Vritrasura, and when he was killed, the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana certainly took shelter of Indra. So this Brahmahatya took the shelter of not Indra. How Jiva Goswami said for this? He said that that's Abhimani. Jiva Goswami evam tasya atmani papasya na atyutpapattavapi. Jiva Goswami is saying that this sloka, how he Jiva Goswami will explain. That means now here it is said that Brahmahatya, the sin are different types of sins are there, na? So this Brahmahatya sin is taking the shelter of the Indra. So according to Vishwanath, it is true. It's matching. Vishwanath is Jiva Goswami, what he is saying. So of course she is not produced there. Just that means na atyupapattau api papasya na atyupapattau api sabhimana adishtatri tu tam abhibhavitum so udyata ityaha brahmahatya hate. So what English translation can anyone read this little bit? Jiva Goswami is there? Not VCTY. What is this? I want just 11:7. 12th chapter, na? 12. Okay. Sloka number 11. Yeah, 13. Okay. 13. 10. Though the sin was not too visible in him, its presiding deity appeared in order to overpower him. Okay, actually, to overpower him. समझ में नहीं आया मुझे. Jiva Goswami, what he is saying, of course, it is not produced there. That Brahmahatya Papa is not produced in Indra, but just she appeared out of Abhimana. He is saying how he is explaining here, just out of Abhimana, she appeared. The presiding deity appeared in order to overpower him. क्या है इसका अर्थ? चलो भाई. तद अधिष्ठात्री तु तम अभिभवितुम. अच्छा अच्छा, ऐसा लेना पड़ेगा तब तो. ये तो मैजिक करते हैं. विद्वान के लिए क्या असंभव है? ये तो आचार्य लोग विद्वान हैं, तो they can make anything. How Jiva Goswami is saying, you see, tam abhibhavitum. Actually, this is Indra, okay? And in him, so Brahmahatya. This Brahmahatya is what? Papa. Huh? This Brahmahatya Papa is, so according to JG. So what he is saying, this Papa is not produced. It is not produced, he is saying. Papa is not produced. Of course, Indra killed the Vritrasura or not? He killed Vritrasura. Actually, this Papa should appear or not? Actually, in fact, it should appear. But so to not to appear this Adhishthatri Devata of this Papa will be there. Huh? Adhishthatri Devata of this Papa will be there or not? For everything there is Adhishthatri Devata. Even for the Mrityu also Adhishthatri Devata will be there. Even the disease also Adhishthatri Devata will be there. Similarly for Papa also Adhishthatri Devata will be there. The Adhishthatri Devata of the Brahmahatya Papa, and she appeared actually to not to appear this. Adhishthatri Devata of the Brahmahatya Papa appeared to suppress this Brahmahatya Papa. Are understanding? Even this is done, that means actually Indra is killing Vritrasura. Naturally this will appear, but not to appear this, what is happening? Adhishthatri Devata of this Papa is appearing and she is suppressing this. Huh? Are not to appear this Papa, that's all. That much. So that dosha bhasa, then dosha bhasa is satisfied. Okay. This is the explanation of Jiva Goswami. But if you go to the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he will not say like this. He is saying that, so this Papa is appeared. And also doubled, with the double. And the reaction you are seeing, the Nushas, that also spread it to into a long time it is there. And Nush also got this desire of enjoying this Sachi because of this Papa only. Indra's wife was attracted, so cause for attraction for the others became attraction. Yeah. Because Indra did this sin, that's why as a reaction, his wife, so yeah, so someone got attracted for his wife. But Cherikala happened. So the no, Indra did this sin, na? So as a result, that he got. He is a representative. So while this he went for atonement, that time he appointed him Nuhusha. He appointed Nuhusha as a representative there. Yeah. 1000 celestial years. He is not holding position, Prabhu. He is just representative. He is there actually. As a, just your class. So sometimes you are not there in that temple. So temple president, you will not be temple president, but you are the representative, like that. He got Abhimana, that is different. Okay, next. This first time I went through this logic actually. Papa and Adhishtatri. No, I didn't teach this chapter. And that's why I don't know this logic also. That's why I didn't catch. I was not able to catch immediately. Okay, next. Tadendra smasahat papam nirvrutir namamupavishat hrimantam vachatam praptam sukayantyapi no gunaha. Following the advice of the demigods, Indra killed Vritrasura and he suffered because of this sinful killing. Although the other demigods were happy, he couldn't derive happiness from the killing of Vritrasura. Indra's other good qualities such as tolerance and opulence couldn't help him in his grief. So then he got reactions. According to the Jivgos, Vishwanath, it is very clear. He got the reactions for this. Tatasya taya sannihitaya hetu bhutaya. So yah tapaha tadapi indro ahasat tena parabhavam na praptavan tadevam nirvritaha tvam. Okay, I will discuss tomorrow. इससे तो ये इतना आसान से नहीं जाएगा ये. रुको अभी मैं सोचा था कमेंट्री नहीं है करके है लेकिन एक्चुअली वो पहले चैप्टर प्रिपेयर करके थोड़ा सा देख के आया लेकिन नहीं होगा अभी. I will finish this remaining 10 slokas tomorrow and start the 14th chapter. Okay. I will finish here. I will that means just to I will give a little brief. Anyway, this already discussed the difference between these two acharyas' explanations about the atonement or about the sin, incurring of the sin. Actually, instead of atonement, incurring of the sin, it's a good answer actually. So write the two different opinions of the acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on incurring of sin by killing the Vritrasura. So this you should justify, you should answer, you should all the points you should mention. Okay. This is dosha bhasa in the case of Jiva Goswami, and why it is dosha bhasa, what is the reasons he gave, that you should write. And also how when this Papa, that means this Papa is taking shelter of the Indra means what explanation in Jiva Goswami gave and what explanation Vishwanath is taking. And further also we are seeing Indra is suffering, then for that Jiva Goswami how he is explaining, and Indra Vishwanath how he is explaining. You should also mention all this. Okay, that we will discuss tomorrow, the last point. That means how the reactions. So in the case of Vishwanath, it is very easy. But in the case of Jiva Goswami's explanation, then we have to justify that. Okay, that we'll do tomorrow, and remaining section I will finish tomorrow, and I'll start the 14th chapter, which is a big chapter. So let us try. Okay. Thank you very much for kind and patient hearing for till this time. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.